to Hashtag Kangaroos podcast. I'm Dean Vasic, and today it's a tough one. North Melbourne played three quarters. Second quarter, we're going to talk a lot about that tonight, but went down by 68 points to Adelaide Crows. And right now, there are more questions than answers. Effort, structure, belief, it all gets put under the microscope after a loss like that, and we're going to pack it all with Jesse. Jesse, thanks for coming on during tough times, I must admit. You've had a busy day. You're on a scotch.
Gin and tonics, mate.
Gin
double.
and tonics.
I thought I'd need a double
yeah,
to talk about this.
Yeah, he might be under the table by half an hour into this episode, which will make it a bit interesting. But I guess, Jesse, let's just get straight into it. What the hell happened that second quarter? That's a capitulation to the biggest degree I've ever seen. And I've been following football for about 35 years.
It is close to the worst quarter of football I have ever seen. Not just of North Melbourne, of any team. Yeah. Any team. It's hard to actually say. On the Wheelo footy rating site, it shows you team stats and it shows you what team each got, and it shows you below AFL average and lost the stat as a marking, versus below AFL average and you won the stat and stuff like that. North Melbourne on every single statistic other than hit-outs, handballs, meters gained, and average team experience got below AFL average and lost the stat. We absolutely, I don't know, polite way of saying it, mate, we shit the bed. We did not show up whatsoever. It was an absolutely disgusting. It was just absolutely disgusting what we put out there. Our offensive game was no good. Our defensive game was no good. We just, other than that first quarter, and maybe bits and pieces of the third and fourth to actually get the margin slightly back, below. It could have and should have been 100 points. That second quarter was worse than anything we put out under David Noble.
Oh, without doubt. It's probably the worst quarter of football I've ever seen in my lifetime, like I mentioned. But I'm going to go through the possessions in that second quarter. So disposals, Adelaide 117 to 43. Contested possessions 43 to 22. Tackles 31 to 14. Marks 37 to 5. 5 marks in a quarter. Inside 50s 16 to 6. Clearances 13-8. Scores from clearances, Adelaide 32 to North Melbourne 1. Total score 64 to 2. I've never seen a team with that low of a possession count in a quarter. I think might have been the COVID year where the short quarters were a bit shorter. 43, but 5 marks in a quarter. I've never seen a team get 5 marks in a quarter. What the fuck is that, Jesse?
Oh, we looked tired. Like, we looked like a team who was playing, we looked like a team who had been smashed all year. We were playing the very last game of the year and everyone was ready to pack their bags and go on holiday. Like, we looked exhausted. We couldn't spread. We couldn't keep up with them. Players didn't know where to stand. They didn't know what to do. It was, I don't know how to, I don't actually know the best way of describing it. I think, I said to you before we joined, I don't turn off games of football, and I generally don't leave a game early. Like Good Friday against Carlton last year, I stayed until, I'll stay until the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, out of respect. Watching it, generally, I'll stop watching it on the TV and I might go do something else and put it on my phone, just so I can continue to monitor the margin, and just look for a highlight. This is the first time I threw the remote, turned it off and said we're leaving, and left the house and did something else and didn't watch anything of the rest of the game. Didn't watch anything at all. So it was disgraceful, especially after the effort against Sydney. I think we've been disappointed over the last few weeks because we've been losing games, but we've been really into them. Sydney, we should have won. Like, we played better than them. To put out what we did against Adelaide, a team that I tipped us. I honestly thought that we were going to beat them, and we should have beaten them.
Yeah, but we didn't. So, is it a case of their own bathwater. Every time we get talked up like round one and how everything has changed and we're sick of losing and so forth, they just capitulate and fall over, which maybe suggests, and this should be the message in the words of Adam Kingsley, they're weak as piss.
I think it's a little bit of that. Even against Geelong, I don't think we played absolutely terrible. It was disappointing that last quarter.
Last quarter blew out, yeah.
But it is what it is. This was probably similar to the West Coast game where we just didn't show up after quarter time, really, against West Coast. So this felt pretty similar to that. I don't know what to say, mate, to be honest. It was just absolutely appallable. It was just absolutely appalling.
It's bizarre because we started the game so well, didn't we? I mean, the first 8 minutes and it was 16 zip. We should have been further in front.
Yeah, we should have.
Even more confusing.
Yeah, we
should
should have
been.
been.
You go from that to
We should have been 30.
Opposite.
Yeah. We should have. There were some easy ones we missed. We should have been 30 up. Should have been 30 points up. And so what? I honestly couldn't tell you what happened in the second quarter, or for the rest of that game. I think the one thing I can say is that I would not give anyone else other than Wardlaw a pass mark. So I think every single player played well below their ability to play at. So at least if everyone is going to have a bad day, they have a bad day on the same day. That's the only thing I can say. But it kind of makes this game against Gold Coast a non-negotiable. And I think that's a harder game than Adelaide. They're coming out of some pretty good form. We need to win that because I can't see us being Fremantle in Freo. And if we go on a run of 6 or 7 losses, and even if we played like that, like we did in that second quarter against, the next run is like West Coast are up by 20 points or something on GWS at the moment, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like they're up by. It's half time, and they're sure it's over there in Perth, but they're up by 15 points. We're going to go over there, play them. Then we've got Essendon, we've got Port Adelaide. There's no sureties that we're going to win those. Yes, we won them earlier in the year, those two, but even Carlton got a win over the Bulldogs last night. So I almost feel like we have to redeem ourselves and beat Gold Coast at home. We don't really have a choice. So, yeah, look, if we're going to, I'm appalled. And I think most of the North fan base are pretty appalled from what they saw.
No, they're very frustrated. When we think we've turned the corner, it just goes back. You take one step forward and you almost 3 steps back after a game like that, and that's a frustrating.
I will say one thing. There was an exchange on, I think it was the 9 Footy show I saw pop up on X, between Damo, who's been going every single week saying, no, it's not good enough. North's got to win these games. North should be winning these games. Just crapping on. And he's having a go with Nathan Brown, because Nathan Brown's been saying every week, North are coming, they're improving. Damo, shut up. And Damo uses this point. He said, you said they were coming. Where are they? That was appalling. And I think Matthew Lloyd jumped in and he said, is there anything wrong with North Melbourne not being what you think that they should be this year? So, they've gone from the bottom 2-3, us being a bottom 2-3 side, to us being a bottom 6 side. And then missing the 10, so being a 6. And then next year jumping into that top 10. He goes, is there anything wrong with that? And honestly, we probably are still a bottom 6 side. I don't want people. People don't want to hear that, but we have the worst defense in the AFL by a fair margin, I'd say. Maybe us and West Coast, but other than that, it's a terrible defense. I don't think any of this is helped by the fact that Larkey has been out of form for probably a good 4 to 6 weeks. Trembath has been out of form for probably the same amount of time, probably 4 weeks. So our forward line has been woefully out of form, but it's just we have the I don't know what we're doing with that defense.
Now, we might as well talk about the back line. The talent is not going to change this year. There's no doubt about that. We're stuck with what we have. Zerhard does some good things back there, but his foot skills need a lot of work.
Got to rip the Band-Aid off. He should be in the VFL. If we're gonna persist with playing 3 tall forwards, I don't think you can play a side that has Zerha, Trembath, Darling, Larky, and then a Dersma and a Curtis. Something's
Well,
got to
that's
give.
why. That's why he's gone to the back line, possibly.
Oh, you've got to drop one of them. And it's going to be one of that first batch. So you decide if you want to drop Larky, Trembath, Dersma, Darling, or Zerha, but they can't all be in the same side. Zerha's not a defender. We're trying to put him into defense. It's not working. He cannot defend. He adds no value down there. So it's just silly. I know we signed him on big money on a long deal. The guy wouldn't get the guy honestly would not get a game at any other club in the AFL other than Richmond, and that's because they've got 19 injuries on their list.
Well, West Coast, he might get a game.
I would take Shanahan over him. I would take Waterman over him. They're resting mids that take over him. I'd probably take Cripps over him. He's done nothing this year. As a forward, he did nothing this year other than round one. He just doesn't offer anything to the team.
No, look, fair enough. What about the smalls? And I thought this was an opportunity for Hardiman to come in this week, and we need more youth back there, Jesse. Blamires was barely sighted, but they don't want to use him for the overlap, and it felt like a little bit last year where we just relied on Caleb Daniel to use his elite foot skills to break the game open. Other than that, and Luke Parker has been a revelation down there this year, but it needs some fresh legs and speed, doesn't it? There's no speed behind that ball. Every time it goes down there, it gets stuck down there.
Yeah, Blamires is an interesting one if we can talk about him for a second, because
go for it.
I think he's been really good at points this year. I think he's been victim of being moved between halfback and wing by where do we want to use McKercher, where do we want to use Zerha now, where do we want to use this player. I mean, his time on ground was 76%, but they were kind of using him as the third stringer wing because they want to use Dylan Stevens and Jai Simpkin as their chosen wingers. Spargo was going on to the wing. I'm not going to talk about him until later if I want to talk about him at all. So Blamires gets to be thrown as third or fourth fiddle onto the wing, and then he plays a little bit of halfback. I actually think he's generally a pretty good disposer of the ball. I don't think he was on the weekend, but we're talking about a guy who's played 4 or 5, 7 or 8 games of football. Maybe 9, what's he played? What round are we in? 8, 9, 10? So he's probably played 9 games of football.
I think it's 11 now, isn't it?
No.
Are we 4 and 7?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we'll probably, hang on, I'll get it out now. So on the AFL app.
I think we're around 10 because we didn't play 0.
Yeah.
4 and 6.
Yes, we are around 10. So we're 4 and 6.
Yeah. So he's played 9 games of football. So, I should be in the team for mine, but I do prefer him probably on the wing. I think I like him on the wing, delivering inside 50 as opposed to a half back line. There's just not enough speed down there. You're right. Hardiman not getting a game we're talking about a guy who they refused to bring into the team last year until they were absolutely forced to do it. Like, I don't know what they don't like about him.
Yeah.
Remember they were forced to bring him into the team.
Because they had too many injuries. So yeah,
brought him in and he was elite. He played some absolutely elite games, and this year
he's been good the last 2 weeks in the VFL. Not yesterday. He didn't play as a match day emergency.
If I was him, I would be signing somewhere else. I wouldn't be staying at North because we obviously don't rate him when we want to play Spud McDonald down there. McDonald is another one, should be nowhere near this team. Get him back on the barbecues. Just delist him halfway through the year. Pay him out now.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit harsh, but yeah. Look, he tries hard. He gives it everything he's got, but
we've got to
we know his ceiling.
We've got to be past people who try. Yeah, we've got to be past people who try.
Yeah,
hard.
and that's the bare minimum at the end of the day. We've got to try players that are the future of your club as well now.
Well, and that's probably more my point, that he's not part of the future of this club. He's not the worst problem down there. Absolutely not. He does try. But he's not. He's too slow to go on small. He can play on that medium slow. He could play on a Zane Dersma type.
Or Will Hayward type.
Yeah, Will Hayward type. Like the resting mids and stuff, not the crafty smalls. So, but it didn't really help on the weekend. I mean, You know, you had Rankin running around, you have Rochelle running around, Ben Keys running around, goals, goals, goals. McDonald doing nothing. Look, people pick on him a lot, and there's a lot worse down there. Do not get me wrong, um, but it's just his age. It just adds nothing to the team at this age.
Yeah, look, he's out of contract at the end of the year, and look, it's unfortunately as much as I like Luke McDonald, and he's been the heart and soul of the club for a long time. Yeah, you got to make tough decisions, and you got to try players like Riley Hardeman's. Like you said, he's out of contract at the end of the year. There's a 2-year offer there for him, but if he's not going to get a game, he's not going to sign it. So, yeah, we've got to try, get some of these young players in there and give them a go. Like you said, Riley Hardeman did nothing wrong last year. I know they'll say, well, he didn't have a pre-season. Luke McDonald didn't have a pre-season either. So,
No, they rushed him back.
Yeah, they were very quick to rush him back. So, and he's been in the VFL, played very good the last 2 weeks. You got to reward form, and he seems like a high character kid too, Riley Hardeman. Midfield, and I still worry that we rely on talent and our midfield dominating to win games. It's the talent in midfield, but they got outworked by Sam Berry, 8 tackles, Peatling, 6 tackles, Dawson with 5 tackles, and the lack of accountability at stoppages was inexcusable. Just letting players just waltz through the contest, not getting touch of body on dangerous players. And it's a lesson that if you play like millionaires, then you're going to be broke pretty quickly, Jesse.
Yeah, look, it's a really good point. If you look at the midfield mix, so Sam Berry, who plays as we're not looking at a top 5 pick. We're talking about a bargain basement buy who was their second highest CBA attended midfielder.
He's had a good year, Sam.
He has had a good year, but he does that on the back of hard work rate, tackle, pressure. Like you said, Peatling. Again, the guy's bargain basement. It cost them absolutely nothing. He's in there tackling, he's in there pressuring, he's in there tagging. He's doing exactly what you'd be expecting, what we want and need players to do. And then, you've got Jordan Dawson and Rankin rolling through there, and Rankin 3 tackles. Jordan Dawson had 5 tackles.
Yeah, more than any of our midfielders, yeah.
Like Sheasel had 4, Wardlaw had 1, but I mean,
he tries hard.
He tries,
he goes in and under. He's a heart and soul.
Yeah. LDU had the 4, Finn O'Sullivan 3, sure, but then it just drops off the cliff. And I mean, you got Jai Simpkin rolling into the midfield. I have no idea why.
Yeah, that was the second half. They put him straight in the midfield. They panicked, thinking, "Well, we got to get Jai Simpkin in there." You're just going sideways.
We're past that. I mean, most people are calling for his blood, saying we should have traded him just to list him. That's what people are saying on X. They just want to get rid of him for a 3rd or 4th rounder. They think he's an absolute disgrace to the.
Adam Simpson's gone hard. I think that's a bit harsh because I think he's had a reasonable year.
I think he's been okay.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's been better than probably last year.
I don't like him I actually haven't liked him on the wing. I actually prefer him as a high half forward because I actually think that he's more dangerous in front of goal. I don't want him anywhere near the middle or the back half of the ground. Like, he should be playing the Spargo role, the high half forward.
Yeah. Well, he's played some good footy there.
Or play as a forward, and if he doesn't like that, trade him.
Well, it might be something they may revisit at the end of the year. I'm not too sure. If they want to get all these players they're talking about, then they're going to, get rid of some salary as well, and he's on big money as well at the moment. So, look, a lot's going to be found out over the next 12 to 13 weeks, especially in that midfield. But, the forward line, and it seems like when we lower our eyes, which we did better, we look better, I should say, when we do lower our eyes. Dersma, and a beautiful kick out in front of Tremba to kick a goal from 50 in the 3rd quarter. Curtis finds O'Sullivan 50 out, who converts. I know Nick Larkey's out of form, but you can't just keep kicking it long in a contest to him. It's all right every now and then if avenues are covered and we can get a contest and a repeat entry, but it seems our system is built on long kicks too often for a bloke who doesn't...
Who's not a contested mark.
No, he hasn't won a one-on-one contest all year, Jesse. It just seems bizarre they keep doing it.
And they keep kicking it to him and Trembath, who are standing in the same spot. So
Yeah.
they fumble it with
Hoping they can take a screamer.
like I'd rather if they're going to just bomb it long, put Trent Barth in the square and have Larky play higher up the field, centre half forward.
There's got to be more avenues to Trembath as well.
Oh, that
He can't just be a contested mark. Like I really like when what's his name Dersma took the intercept. He lowered his eyes, kicked it to him straight out in front of him.
yeah, they don't honour his leads a lot
Yeah,
for
no, they don't.
whatever
And that was
reason.
the first time I've seen it all year. I'm not too sure what his leading patterns have been like all year, but yeah, it was good to see. And he had a shot from 50 and kicks a goal. And that's got to be something he's got to work on, I guess, and the team's got to work on. There's times, like Harry Shees was a bad case of this. Like he's 60 or 70 out. He never wants to lower his eyes. He just wants to kick it long all the time. And he's too skillful of a player.
Yeah, he's
to
fallen
just-
in.
He's fallen into a trap.
Yeah, he's fallen into a really bad habit of just bombing the ball forward. Um, it, it's one of the reasons why having your players around the club like your Simpkins, your McDonalds, who have been there for a long time, and even LDU who have been there for a long time. That it's just been. I almost feel like the toxicity has become ingrained in them,
Yeah.
and having them around just means that they don't know any other way, and then it just bleeds out of them into everyone else of these bad habits. Where it's just like, well, we've got to be past that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe they're part of the problem with the culture, Jesse. And they'll talk about culture as much as they like and how good it is there, but the facts are the facts. They've been the worst performing team. And I know the last 4 weeks, and hopefully yesterday was an aberration, that quarter was an aberration. I'm not too sure, but we've seen it a lot over the last 5 to 6 years. And yeah, it could be a cultural thing where they accept, and it looked like Clarkson, Jesse, almost accepted, well, Adelaide were just too good in that second quarter. We gave it to them on a platter, and they just capitalised.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, absolutely, we did. 100%. Yeah.
Hopefully, the message is different behind closed doors because you don't want to. He's not going to go back to last year or last few years where he's just saying, "Oh yeah, we'll get there," because I don't know how much longer you'll be there if you're just going to accept performances or quarters like that. So. Yeah, but now a few people have mentioned Constanti and Spargo on socials. Not going to talk about their contracts because it's getting worse by the week. But they are both defensive forwards. There's no danger with both
defensive
of them.
forwards.
Well, that's probably being generous. They don't impact the scoreboard. I'll say that. Constanti played on Blakey last week, and Blakey had a big influence on the game. And he was on Malira yesterday, who had 19 touches, but was scoreless himself.
Constanti laid one tackle.
Well, he's running around a lot. I don't know if his head was on, but...
Mate, I'll tell you what, I tweeted about Costanti, and the comments I got was explain to me how Costanti's responsible for a 10-goal second term, and then a follow-on tweet was show me who in this VFL stops a 10-goal second term. I'm not going to call out names, but to the North fans who decided to message me yesterday defending Costanti, you're the reason why we're losing. Like, you want to, please feel free to message me, feel free to do whatever you want and try and explain to me why you think Costanti is something worth pursuing. He would not get a game in, Zerha, you could argue, yep. Costanti would not get a game in the VFL team for any other club. He is not AFL standard. He is barely VFL standard. He should be playing country football. He's not fit. He's slow. He's tackling, this myth about his tackling and pressure. He cost us the game last week by trying to tag a guy who he had no rights trying to tag. It was Darcy Tucker-like. The guy is impotent in front of goal. He offers nothing. What did you say? They don't affect they don't impact the scoreboard.
No, they don't.
He doesn't impact anything. He is useless. I would rather any other option. Geordie Payne should have stayed on the list over him. It's just those two players, him and Spargo, would be my lowest two rated players on our entire list, including Callum Coleman-Jones.
Well, Costanti was going to get delisted by Sydney before he came to us, and he never played a game at the Swans. But the Swans do have some strong small forwards.
He can't be in that team. He can be nowhere near that team. He's just not up to it. I just can't believe people are defending him and saying that, but he tries hard and he tackles. And if we want someone who tries hard and tackles, go get Kane Turner back.
Yeah, well, it's a similar sort of player, isn't it? Like
I think Kane
low
Turner was
upside.
infinitely better than.
Probably at this stage of their respective careers, I don't
Oh,
know, 20 or 30 games in, I think Kane Turner had more of an influence. But yeah, we need a small forward, and people laughed at me when I said Zach Fisher is the best small
oh,
forward at the club at the start of the year. But
I've
he has a body of work, at least from Carlton, Jesse.
mate, I've done my practice team 100 times, and I cannot land on an option that does not have Zach Fisher as the zippy small forward. He is clearly the best small forward, like, as in like zippy small
Yeah,
forward, not
yeah, he's got a bit
not
of pace. He's got smarts. He gets a lot of the ball. He knows how to read the game.
like. Uh, I know he's injured. The
Yeah, that's
second
the
he's not
problem.
injured, he should be in that team because Doveston had a decent game in the VFL, but I would like to see him get a good
He
four,
needs another couple more weeks there, I think. Yeah.
a good block of at least four to five VFL games to really build up that form. Banch is injured, and again, he's probably a bit more offensive than Costanti and does a little bit more with the ball. I think he's probably like Costanti with a slight markup.
Oh, he is, yeah. He's better.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd rather Banch in there than Constanti. But yeah, if Zach Fisher comes back and he's playing on the half back line, I'll be sick because we don't need that. We know that that's not what suits him. Play him as a small forward and just tell him to tackle, pressure, goal. That just yeah, frustrating.
No,
Him and
he knows he gets front and square to contests as well. I mean, how many times yesterday was, as soon as the ball hits the ground, we're reacting because they get the opposition, whether it's Crows, Swans, they get the ground ball all the time. And next week's going to be a problem too. Gold Coast are very strong and they start their attacks from a defensive half like Sydney do. I mean, we're very good against the Swans, so that maybe give them a bit of confidence that they can match teams like the Gold Coast Suns as long as they're disciplined and do that defensive pressure. But like I said, I think Zach Fisher is clearly, and we need someone that's a small forward. But at the moment, look, we don't have many other options. And is it worth, like you sort of said, well, maybe we just put Jai Simpkin there?
well, I would at least he tackles.
Yeah, and he's not bad.
He's
He's
pretty
actually
crafty in front of goal.
Yeah, that's right. That's how that's where he played his junior football when he first came to the club. So
He does his best goal. He's his best kicking in front of goal.
yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, well, he's kicked some goals for the club. So yeah, they've got a lot to work out, and they don't have much time. So a week is a long time. They can get it right. So we'll see. But is this an aberration, Jesse, or is it too much like the past, and you're a bit worried?
I'm on the fence. I think it's an aberration. I'm going to give us another week. If we roll out against Gold Coast and play like that, then
Yeah, look, they're really going to be under the pressure then. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, a few people came in on X, so I'm going to go through a few questions here. Can't go through them all, there was too many, but Roos Sorts at 118. Need a lead up forward. The most suitable player is playing halfback in the VFL. Obviously talking about Cooper Harvey, so yeah.
funny that, isn't it?
He's very most crafty, mid-sized, small forward, and he's playing in a half-back line in the VFL. But look, we'll talk about the VFL soon. So yeah, it's interesting. James Duke, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are too tall at both ends of the ground. It hits the ground, it's gone in the forward line and the back line. It hits the ground. Players like Rochelle and Keys tear us up to shreds week in, week out. We need to be way quicker at ground level. Not much pace in the team, is there, Jesse? Not much speed at all.
I brought my practice team up while we've been doing this as a forward line, and like, if you look, let's just say you build around two key forwards, so you're going your Nick Larkey and your Trembath. I think we've accepted the fact you can have Paul Curtis in there, who has some decent pace. He can tackle and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
then you got your and then I think we've all accepted we want Zane Dersmer in there. So there's four. So if you want to get your pace and your speed around there, you've got to make it out of those other two. We're saying me and you were saying Zach Fisher. We're in the Zach Fisher fan club. Add some pace. So there's a bit of speed.
Get in there.
It's then who's that other player? Do you have that as a McKercher? Do you have that as your other resting midfielder? Is that a Simpkin? I actually don't mind Caleb Daniel as the high half forward. but that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I actually like him as because he can use the ball inside 50.
Yeah, so my forward line's probably like a Larky, a Fisher, a Curtis, a Dersma, a Trembath, a Daniel, with obviously you're resting mid, sometimes going into there as well. On the other side of the ground, we did go smaller. We dropped core, and we've been running McDonald, Comden, and Logue. Like Dawson, in what is the most bizarre team selection I've seen since we played Whitlock against the Swans when they had one tall forward and we had four tall defenders. Um, Dawson is just playing as a backup ruckman, getting 20-30% game time, which is just giving the opposite team a leg up. But we have gone smaller. We've gone McDonald into Logue into Comden. It's just that that's not working.
Is it time to, like I said it yesterday, like we're getting smashed. Why don't we just put Will Dawson?
He's in my team at fullback. I don't understand
like,
why.
Why aren't you developing him there? Like,
I think my biggest concern is that we've got Matt Whitlock in the VFL up forward, and he kicks 2 goals 2 every week. I think that's he just seems to kick 2 goals 2 every week. Why is he not playing as a defender now? I understand why we're playing him as a forward, but if Cooper and Larky are both in form, does he get a game over either of them? Probably not. I don't. They persist with this Darling Trembath Larky thing. I don't like 3 tall forwards. I just don't like it if you've got a Dersma and a Curtis there. So, and we're crying out for defenders. So why is Whitlock not playing as a defender in the VFL for like a good 2-3 games, and then he comes in as a defender? I think it clearly makes sense for him to be a defender. But yeah, I'd be going Dawson at fullback, absolutely, because Logue's just lazy. I'm done with him. He's just lazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of the videos
changed really, has it?
No, some of the videos of his effort are absolutely disgusting. At least Dawson, you'll get effort. We saw his game on Sam Darcy last year. Just he at least he tackles and
he hits hard. He crunches players. Yeah, definitely does.
I'd be playing Dawson at fullback. Charlie Comden is interesting. He has some bad games and he has some really good games. And a lot of fans on X have a go at him and say he's a dumb footballer, does dumb things. He did a couple of dumb things yesterday, sure. But at least he tries. He actually cares, while Logan Core are just there for the money.
Yeah, the thing with Logue, and every week we always get 1 or 2 really bad errors that cost the team's goals. Like nothing changes here, and when games are close, like the Swans and things like that, they're the difference between winning and losing. Obviously, yesterday,
I'd rather Josh Walker.
But similar sort of play. There's not much difference.
That's a worry.
Yeah.
But I think Will Dawson has to be playing in that back line.
Yeah, look, there's no point developing as a second ruckman when he's not going to. That's not his long-term position anyway, Jesse.
And if Gold Coast roll out the same team this week, they're going to run 2 genuine rucks in Witt and Moyle, and both of them will spend time forward, because that's what you usually do. You don't just do a Dawson on the ruck, on the bench.
Well, they did push him forward in the third quarter, and then I don't know.
Did I see him go down back once or twice as well? Did I see Costanti in the back line for a little bit?
I've seen Costanti running around a lot, Jesse. So I don't know I don't know what he was doing. So I'm not sure.
I don't know why they don't try Costanti as a backman. But anyway, he can't kick
a football, like Jesse. He'll turn it over. That's the problem. I think his best position is what he's doing now.
Look, Gold Coast is probably an interesting one because they've got such a tall forward line. They're going to have Ben King. They'll have Ned Moyle. They have Jed Walter. Jamara was a laid out. Jamara was a laid out, and then they've obviously got Ethan Reid who plays on a wing, like Matthew Richardson on the wing type. So they'll go at least 3 talls. So I don't have a problem with it being, but I would just play. I'm not saying we have to drop Logue this week. You could get away with playing Logue, Dawson, Comden this week, as long as you play Riley Hardman has to come in for McDonald in that case there, because you need genuine speed at ground level to play on their small.
Yeah, well, they got a couple, real like Bailey Humphrey. You kind of need someone that's got a bit that can do something on the ground. So it's going to be interesting. But And another question here at Professor Sarah J. Overall terrible. Last quarter is a big positive though. In times past, we could have gone on to a 100-point plus loss. We haven't shown the capacity to come back at all in thrashings. Have to bounce back versus the Suns. Can't do that twice in a row. So we're hoping for a response, aren't we, Jesse? That's all. Jesse's lost for words at the moment. So.
Like I'm just. Yes, we're absolutely we do, but I mean, like, it's hard to keep the faith.
We've got no choice, I suppose, at the moment. We'll go to the reserves anyway. We've had enough of dissecting that second quarter, and that's where the game was won and lost, really, effectively. The rest of the game's irrelevant. A disappointing loss to the reserves as well, after getting ahead early against Port Melbourne, going down by 13 points. I think they got to 29 points towards the end of the second quarter. But Tom Powell getting some footy and form with 24 disposals, 7 clearances and 5 tackles. A strange left foot kick in that back 50 though, Jesse. So that's the standards we're setting. Cooper Harvey with 23 disposals. He looks really good. CCJ, 19 disposals, 26 clearances, 4 tackles, 26 hitouts, 4 tackles, 6 clearances. So he's, look, he may come back in. Who knows, Jesse? Taylor Goad playing a lot up forward because they still want to believe in CCJ as a ruckman. 11 disposals, 19 hitouts, 5 clearances, a goal. Doveston, 2 goals, 4 tackles, which is good. You mentioned Whitlock, 2 goals. Braden George, 3 goals from 3 kicks and 1 handball for the game. Hugo Makunda developing well from halfback as well with 17 disposals. Yeah. Anyone you fancy there, Jesse, for a senior
all these people
are
saying, oh, Braden George will come in and play. He had 4
he's never going to
touches.
get a game.
He's done.
He's never going to get a game as a forward.
No. Like, how is he coming into that forward line? And he's getting like 4 touches.
Yeah. And you got a couple out the back too, Jesse, like in the second quarter. All in the second quarter.
Like, yeah, players to come into that team.
I think Makunda, second half of the year, you will get a game.
Yeah, I've liked what I've seen of Makunda. I see what they're trying to get, what they're trying to do with him. I think it's really interesting. So Makunda's one who I think we should keep our eyes on. Whitlock should get a game, but as I said, I'd much rather see him in the defence.
Tom Powell, where would he play if he came in?
Well, I would have said centre half. I would have said centre half back. I want to see him as a half back. I like that game against Geelong where he had 35 touches, but he, not with kicks like that. So maybe very high half back. Or wing. He can't play that half forward role. That's just graveyard.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who it won't be. It won't be Aiden Core. He had a shocker. And Toby Pink didn't have a great game either from the bits I saw. So
yeah, we've got the mid-season draft coming up. I think it's a couple of weeks away.
We don't have any slots, do we?
No, well, that's the thing. Do we just tell a couple of players, maybe you should retire? So go pick. Like, you got James Tarrant and you got Xavier Bame, however you say his name. He's probably the best small forward at the club right now. And you got, James Tarrant is a promising young key forward who's injured at the moment. I don't know if they're just trying to hide him, but just tell CCJ you're not going to be here next year.
We could always get a spot with Fred Gold.
It depends. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it depends if he's out for the year.
Other than that, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they've got to be out for the year or anything like that, like an ACL injury.
Mate, I don't think you can retire someone early and then get a slot, can you?
Oh, well, there was a team trying to do that.
If we're allowed to do that, mate, I'll retire half the list.
I think it's Melbourne because they're talking about retiring Tom Campbell, who's still playing AFL football, Jesse. So
I saw he retired, though.
Oh, I did retire.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. So that gives them the spot now. So you can't tell. Just tell CCJ we'll pay you the rest of the year. Retire. Aiden Core will pay you the rest of the year. Retire.
If they're playing CCJ as the main ruckman over Goad, then they think CCJ is the future.
Yeah. Oh well, that's the problem. He's getting more CBAs. So
that's messed up. I wasn't aware of that. That makes me pretty angry.
I've got. Hang on. Let's see.
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
That's CCJ and Aiden Core. Is that coming up? No.
Oh, he's staying, is he?
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
It sure is.
Over.
I was going to play it again there, Jesse. So, but
Costanti? Oh no, we gave him a 2-year extension.
well, you
didn't
could go through probably half the list after yesterday, Jesse.
I can't believe we gave Costanti an extension on the back of nothing.
Are you saying you've lost a little bit of faith in Brady Rawlings?
Oh, mate, I've got no faith in Brady Rawlings.
I don't think he knows how to build.
I would throw the absolute. You know, who apparently Jason McCartney might be looking.
Well, I'll definitely take him back.
Like, I'd be interested to get him or whoever the list manager is at Geelong.
Well, I'll get rid of Rawlings. You put Thursfield list manager.
Well,
I think
yeah,
he's got half
100%.
an idea, Jesse.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Well, he's the one that found, and people will say, well, he found Cooper Trimbath. No, Rawlings had no idea who Cooper Trimbath is. He probably still doesn't know who he is. Him and Liam Shields found him. Liam Shields played footy against him when he was playing.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but we'll move forward anyway. I'll keep moving forward.
Is there anyone you'd bring in from the VFL?
Mate, Cooper Harvey. Riley Hardiman has to come in, and I'd probably try Cooper Harvey for Blamires.
Okay.
Yeah, and Riley Hardiman
at halfback.
Yeah, I'll try him halfback.
Is there a reason?
Ball all right.
Is there a reason why Cooper Harvey couldn't play wing or high half forward?
Yeah, look, he could, but they won't. So.
So what would your backline be this week then?
I'll get rid of McDonald for Hardiman, and I'll put in Cooper Harvey for Blamires.
Okay, so what's it look like as a...
And I'd get rid of Logue for Dawson. Just get Logue.
Okay, so you've gone Hardiman, Dawson, Comden, Parker, Cooper Harvey.
Yeah.
Who's getting the last spot?
I can't even remember. Who else was there? I don't know. It's got to be... we got Parker, haven't you? So
I got Parker. Yeah, Parker, Comden, Cooper, Dawson, Hardiman. Usually it's Caleb Daniel.
Zerha. Yeah, I'll just leave Zerha.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
He's all right. He intercepts well, Jesse. He's a good third player up. So
would you rather him than McDonald?
I don't mind the ball. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think. Yeah.
We'll give him a week.
Yeah. I'd might as well persist with him. We know who McDonald is. Zerha's had one or two decent performances in the back line, so you might as well just try him there. He can intercept, but he just can't kick. He's turning the ball over too much.
What about McKercher? Where do you like him?
I don't mind his role at the moment, but
high half forward.
Yeah, I actually think that's not a bad role, but
could he play wing?
They have tried him there before.
It seems like an obvious one, and I don't.
Don't
know why they've done it.
He hasn't done much on a wing previously. So where would you play him? Put him back to the back line for a bit of run?
No, I'd play him wing. I think wing.
Yeah, you could definitely try it.
Like, I just think getting from like high half forward, I don't mind that. But like, who's your preferred wingers? I don't like our wingers at the moment. I don't like Jai Simpkin on the wing. I don't know. And you know me, mate. I'm not the biggest fan of Dylan Stephens. I would be happy to see him out of this team.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. So, I think he's improved this year, but the bar wasn't high. But I'd be happy to persist with Dylan Stephens. Who else you got?
Jai Simpkin, Blamires.
Yeah, I don't think the wingers are our main problem.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's probably our main area of concern. Look, the backline still concerns me. Just trying to get that right and the balance there, because persisting with what you got there is, it's not a long-term thing. I know why they're trying to get Wiedering, but that's probably not going to happen. They've got to find someone there. Jordan Butts looked good on the weekend, but I don't know if he'll want to come to us.
Oh, yeah.
But he's a good one-on-one defender, which is
he
someone we need, someone that can just lock down and do a job each week. Whereas we don't know what we're going to get from our key pillars from week to week. They're all over the shop. They're so inconsistent. So, yeah, what are you looking at? You're sort of looking at different, a completely different back line. You're obviously thinking of wingers. You've hit the panic station, Jesse, and just think we just need to change that.
No, I go in between what we've got at the moment and how do we strip it back a little bit. But I mean, yeah, look, my main concern is I just think the back line. I agree with the comment from whoever left the comment that the back line and forward line is just too tall.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
was.
main one.
I'll go back. James Duke. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need more speed in that team, don't we?
Oh, 100% we do. It's just looks low. Even the midfield mix at times. Like, don't get me wrong, I love all of our midfielders, Wardlaw, Foss, Cheezel, etc. But you just got to, and Curtis isn't. You just got to get some pace in there sometimes.
Yeah, but
like
yeah,
a Rankin or a
like a
Pickett type.
McKercher could go in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be
a bit slow.
That'll throw something. Yeah, that'll throw something different, wouldn't it? But yeah, look, that's up to people who get paid a lot more money than me and you, Jesse, to work out. So we'll have to find out. Do you expect a bounce back against the Suns this week?
Yes, I do. Yes.
And you expect to win?
No. No. I think a win is non-negotiable. We have to win. Do I think we will win? Ricky Manji made in his comment, his post today, made a really good comment, which is the Gold Coast up until this point this year play a very similar style of game to Sydney, but not the same level, and we were able to do a pretty good job at countering Sydney. I think there's a chance we win. I'm not saying it's bleak. I'm saying it's like a 20-ish, like a 30% chance. I think we should be pretty competitive against them. If we got blown out, I'd be furious.
That'll be disappointing. Yeah, definitely. Who does Jacob Costanti tag this week, Jesse?
I'm not going to go to the game if he's in the tag. I know we got invited to. Well, I haven't got the ticket yet, but I know we got invited to something that's meant to be before the game or something like that. Like a members. Remember there was like a 10-year.
But they always do it on like the early afternoon games where you struggle to get there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to get there at 11 o'clock. No chance in hell.
Yeah, exactly. So I especially am not going to get there at 11 o'clock if Jacob Constanti's playing.
Oh, you might be able to get a photo with him, Jesse. Who knows? So.
If we had to drop one of Costanti and Spargo, but we had to keep the other in, who would you drop?
I'd keep Spargo.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah,
that's saying a lot, given that he had 0 touches for half of
it. He had 7 in the third quarter, though, Jesse. So,
he did more in that third quarter than Costanti has done in his 2 years at the club.
Yeah, probably. But we could keep going around in circles here, Jesse. But did you want to add anything else before I let you go?
I've got nothing productive to say, mate.
It's getting a bit like that, isn't it?
That's it.
Enjoy the rest of your gin and tonic.
It's done, mate. I need another one, I think.
Yeah, you need another few by the sounds of it. So that's where we'll leave it then. Tough result, no sugarcoating. This club needs to show some resilience and they need to respond this week. And that's all that matters from now on. So, Jesse, thanks for coming on tonight. Much appreciated. No worries. Hopefully Cam Zurha or Costanti aren't listening to this. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. You can find me on X at #Kangaroos, Instagram #Kangaroos podcast. Make sure you subscribe, leave a rating and share the pod with a fellow Roos supporter and maybe Jacob Costanti as well. And as always, bye for now and go Roos.